So we're in a very interesting time right now. And it is because of something that they're calling or referring to as a credit crunch. Now, what a credit crunch essentially is, or in this instance, it is where lenders are not wanting to give or lend out much money. They're trying to tighten lending. This means people with credit cards are seeing their limits reduced. People that were previously approved or partially pre-approved for an auto loan, well, the bank should be pulling that back because they don't want to lend to that person anymore. Same thing's going on with mortgages. You have to have a higher credit score in order to be qualified for, obviously better terms, but for a certain balance. Now, this is all turning into a major issue. Just to give you an idea of how high credit card balances went. Just in the final 3 months of 2022, we saw credit card balances increase by about $61 billion. And they reached just under $1 trillion in debt. This was $986 billion. That's the highest it has been. Now, here's the other problem. And it actually has to do with credit cards. And this is why I'm telling you, don't wait until it's too late, because so many people have done this. I have talked to many people, both in the comments, in emails, over on Facebook. I've actually had to do a couple, one-on-one calls with people to help them and guide them in the right direction. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but I can give you certain pieces of advice that is just basic. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you what financial experts are telling people to do right now. Okay, I'm gonna give you that in just a minute. Because again, if you want to know how to avoid this credit crunch, how to get out of potentially your own way, well, they have some tips for you. But here's what I want you to understand. Right now, banks are lifting rates. They're scaling back perks on credit cards. They're tightening lending standards, which we've seen for a little while. And they're doing this because they're seeing an increased risk, and they're trying to minimize all loan defaults. Because again, guess what's happening? We're heading into times of potentially a recession. The odds of recession are increasing. More and more people are going to lose their jobs. Well, here's what I can tell you. The average interest rate on a credit card right now is 20.92%. Again, this is the highest it has been since the Federal Reserve started tracking this back in 1994. Okay? So is that almost 30 years? That is troubling. That this is the highest rate we have seen. But here's what I can tell you. Just because we have rather high rates does not mean you have to be one of those people that is paying them. Okay? Here's what you can do. And this is what experts are recommending. Again, don't wait until it's too late. Start doing something to fix this. One of the first things you can do, let's say you have a interest rate of 18 or 22%. Don't worry. There's something out there called a 0% transfer card. Okay, 0% transfer. You can take a balance. Let's say you owe $2,500 on credit card A over here, but credit card balance or the transfer card over here, it will give you a 0% transfer fee. So you don't pay a fee, and it's 0% interest for a certain amount of months. Some cards are 3 months, some cards are 6. I've seen some all the way up to 18 months. Yeah, 18 months, 0% interest. Okay, that means you will transfer it over from, let's say, a card that has a 20% balance. You will transfer it over to the 0% balance card, and from there, guess what? All you gotta do is pay it down. It's 0%, but it's 0% only for a certain amount of months. Okay, that's something you may want to look into. This is what financial experts are recommending at this time. Another thing, I talk about this all the time. I love using credit cards to pay for things because the credit cards will give me cash back. They'll give me air miles, and I can use that, and I can take trips, and I can use the cash back to pay down the card, right? Well, here's the problem. Most people don't have the ability to pay down their cards every single month. So if this is the case, do yourself a favor and get rid of credit cards that have rewards, because a reward card normally has a higher annual percentage rate. Okay? Think about it. Everybody wants cash back. But here's what doesn't make sense to me. You're going to go and get 2% cash back, right? That's a pretty decent cash back. You go and get 2% cash back. But the problem is, you're going to pay 20%. You're going to pay 20% interest on a card because you're not going to pay it off. So if you are currently doing that where you have a rewards card and you don't pay it off every month, get rid of it. Stop using it because you're getting that 2% cash back or those air miles, but it's cost you 20%. Again, makes absolutely no sense. This is one of the things financial experts highly recommend. Here's something else. And this is something that, again, coming from me as well, is to just improve your credit score. Fix your credit. Pay down existing debt, right? This is something that I've done in the past, and I've talked about it here on this channel as well, is I've sold a large item like a car. I sold a car. I used some of the cash to buy another car, not a new one, buy another car. Paid like a third of what the other car sold for, took the rest of that money that the car sold for, paid off debt. That's what I did. I've done that multiple times in the past, and it works, okay? Again, this is also going to improve your credit score. And again, the better credit score you have, especially in the future, if you want to go get another auto loan, you want to go and get a credit card, you want to go get a home, having a better credit score is going to help. Again, that's going to save you money. Now, this isn't really a piece of advice, but go and build an emergency fund, okay? Go and do that. While you're improving your credit score and paying down debt, go and just put together an emergency fund. Now, experts recommend you get 3 to 6 months of your expenses put in a different account. That's the first thing you should do, okay? Here's something else that I recommend. Get another income. Create another income, a side hustle. Get another job, because what you can do is sell stuff you do not need, okay? This could be an Xbox you never play, a TV you never watch, a car you never drive, a boat you never take out to the lake, okay? It could be a snowboard that you haven't used in 3 years because, well, you just don't like the cold. Things like this. Start to sell stuff. That would be my advice. That's what I used to do. That's what I still do. No, I don't still sell stuff because I need the money. I just love to do it. And it's a great little side income. If you don't believe me and you think, oh, that's stuff for people that don't have money. Well, look at somebody like Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. He goes to yard sales and he buys things. Again, this guy's worth millions of dollars, and he buys stuff for, pennies or $1, and he sells it on eBay, right? And he shows you how to do it. I've talked about this here on this channel, and I showed you in the past as well. And that's something I highly recommend. Go and create a side income, because if you can do that, you can take some of that money, you can put it into savings, you can take some, pay off debt, you can get rid of those credit cards. And again, do this before it's too late. Because what is going to happen is if you don't pay down those cards and it gets into that credit crunch time, the lenders are going to start reducing your available balance. They're going to reduce it so that, guess what? You can't use it. But if you pay it down quickly, and it's still there, chances are the credit card companies are going to leave it. They're probably not going to just drop it to zero. They may cut it in half, but they're going to let you use it. That's a good thing. So, just wanted to fill you in on that, because I know I got a lot of questions over the past couple of weeks is, if I have credit card debt, what should I do? Well, these are the steps. And again, do it before it's too late.